There's a country where Asia meets Oceania, yet hardly anyone knows its name. A place that accounts for just 1% of the world's landmass, but contains 5% of its languages. A nation with hundreds of tribes, each with their own way of life.
These are men who craft intricate wigs using their own hair.
And their own way of eating.
Yeah, that's a pig meat or dog meat you eat. They're going to eat real human meat.
Really?
Yeah.
This is Papua New Guinea. In this extended series, I'm on a mission to reveal tribal food across this country's stunning geography.
This is my first time sourcing food from the base of a volcano.
In the highlands, we follow the Huli Wigmen as they cook an entire pig using only hot stones.
They're carefully placing these hot rocks strategically so it cooks every part of the meat evenly. Yeah, buddy.
In the lowlands, we encounter the Crocodile tribe, descendants of fierce warring cannibals.
What was the purpose of feeding the children the flesh of your enemies?
Then there are the islands, a place where men dig deep in volcanic soil to unearth giant wildfowl eggs.
Could this volcano erupt?
Yes.
Anytime.
Anytime.
But before we get to all that, our journey begins in the capital, a city of over 400,000, known as Port Moresby. Here, the indigenous people retain recipes they've held for generations, and the city has some of the most unique street food you'll find anywhere in Asia. But first, we're starting our day at the local market with the guidance of local catering chef Nikki.
This market is absolutely wild. What market is this?
Koki Market. Pretty famous for its local foods.
Located on the waterfront of Port Moresby, Koki Market is a vibrant hub where locals gather to buy and sell fresh seafood, produce, traditional goods, and a ton of different food.
What I like about starting a country by going to a market is that you get a really intimate idea of what people are eating there. There's a lot of seafood, there's a lot of oil, and then there's this.
It's a stuffed chicken neck.
Oh my God.
This delightfully bizarre dish begins with a slow build. Cabbages chopped, then carrots and garlic. Then flavor up the mix with Maggi seasoning cubes.
Is this something you've tried before?
This is my first time. I've actually never heard of this.
Add oil to the veggies and mix it together with chopped chicken organs, including heart, liver, gizzard, and kidney.
It's a wild idea, but I'm also wondering how come no one else thought of it before this moment. Do you feel appetized?
Now stuff the organs and veggies into our vessel, the hollowed out neck of a chicken. It's an inventive meaty sausage that just happens to have a head on top, watching you while you watch it.
So like when people are nervous and they say, I can feel like my heart pounding in my throat.
This is it.
Next, boil up a mixture of water, oil, coconut milk powder, chives, Maggi seasoning powder, and bell peppers. Finally, add the stuffed chicken necks and simmer until they're cooked through.
It's good to have the head on. You know what animal it is. You know it's not some kind of fake factory meat made by Bill Gates.
I think the best way to attack it is just right here. I see some color here.
Like a chicken vampire. Oh, wow. Oh, I have so many emotions right now. That is greasy as heck. Super heavy.
That's the liver. That's a bone.
It's like a fish bone. I think the chicken was still eating. Maybe that's how the chicken died. Every organ has a little bit different feeling to it as you chew. But then there's like crispiness coming from some of the vegetables. The skin on the outside is kind of gelatinous, soft, a little slimy.
In my wildest dreams, I would have never thought of capturing a chicken and stuffing it with its own guts.
This is kind of some unique, inventive culinary mastery happening in a corner of a market, in a corner of the world that nobody knows.
From what I understand, it sells out. It's quite popular here.
Let's talk about you. How did you get into cooking?
Started with my mother. That's when my love of cooking began. Then eventually it became a business.
And tell me about the business.
Nangu Chef Catering. We like to capture local foods, present it in a way that it's unique and presentable for the international stage.
How do you capture exactly what is local Papuan food?
As diverse as our culture is, so is the food.
The foodscape of Papua New Guinea is influenced by its native produce, so you'll find potatoes and bananas almost everywhere, often cooked with fish, pork, or chicken, and flavored with local herbs and spices. Cooking methods include boiling, plenty of frying, grilling, and using hot stones to cook meat inside an earth oven known as the MUMU.
I do believe we'll be trying that, maybe not today, but eventually on this trip. But for now, why don't we take a look around the market and see what else we can find. The first food I see, it's sticking out, it's looking right at me. Red wieners.
Yes.
What's up with the wieners?
We refer to these as stavloid sausages. They're quite popular here. You probably got some beef. It wouldn't be the top cut of the beef because of its price range.
I don't mind that. I accept sausages of all varieties and all socioeconomic backgrounds. Right here we have fried bread.
Think of this as a run and gun pancake. What you got is just flour, mix it through with some cold water and fry it through.
That's it.
And it's totally yummy.
Let's move down a little bit. This is also a pancake, but it's in a different shape.
Here we're looking at wheat flour. So the way they fry it through, it's got a more oval shape, hence why it comes out like this.
Moving on. There's a lot of fish here, a lot of seafood. Is most of that from the ocean?
Yep, we just got a reef just right out there. So just basically getting these products, this fish in is quite easy. Toss it through some oil and then you're good to go.
Oh, yeah, this one right here.
We refer to this as garlic, so I'm assuming it's some of your off-cut meats mixed in with garlic and then processed.
It seems like the Papuan version of Spam.
Something similar.
We have this. It looked like she was just boiling bananas or plantains.
We call it 2-minute banana because it takes 2 minutes to prepare.
Sure. I've never thought of boiling a banana. What does that do?
These, when you harvest them, they're not entirely ripe. You boil it for 2 minutes, it's going to be a bit soft.
Oh, wow. That tastes like a potato. It's very starchy, soft, and almost like a mashed or steamed consistency. I like it.
I'm glad you like it. Do you want me to just get that? This is a flour rice ball. They boil the rice, they season it. There's a bit of soy sauce going on in there. They pack it in a bowl, throw it in a batter, fry it up, and then you basically got this.
Let's give it a shot. That's pretty good.
It's interesting. You're getting into something crunchy, and then you get to the soft rice. It's a comfort food.
It's a comfort food. The most surprising thing, of course, it's been fried, but it's completely cold. Usually cold rice, it might be more kind of dried out, but since it's contained in this protective shell, it's cool and also moist, plus a little bit salty from that soy sauce.
I think the better idea for this would be to have it when it's fresh, while the skin is all crispy.
If that was an option, I would definitely do that.
Next, we're diving into PNG's street side meat masterpiece. But first, how did one of the world's most secluded countries become one of the most diverse?
This country, it takes up 1% of the world's landmass, but it has 5% of the world's languages. So that is kind of an indicator of just how diverse this place is.
Well, geographically, we are very divided. From the coastal areas, we don't necessarily have a road network going up to the highlands areas. The only way to get up there is via a plane.
You can't take a car there.
At least not yet.
This relatively small country has produced incredible diversity because for thousands of years, Papua New Guinea's rugged landscapes, mountains, and thick forests kept tribes isolated from one another. This isolation allowed them to create distinct languages and traditions. Soon we'll be headed to a coastal village to meet the original inhabitants of Port Moresby, who, despite being some of the poorest people in the country, dine on one of the most luxurious seafoods in the world.
If you were somewhere like Japan, it would cost $1,000.
But first, one more street food stop, and the most substantial meal available to grab and go in Port Moresby.
I'm excited to try out some of your street food. I'm told it's some of the best in town. It's a food known as a Lambflap.
This PNG street food icon starts with a layer of fatty lamb ribs spread across the flat top.
Is this something that you ate when you were younger?
Yes, it was a favorite. When we were teenagers, partying, coming home at 5 in the morning, we would go to the nearest Lambflaps market and just eat Lambflaps.
Oh, so this is like a drunk food.
This fatty meat gets a spritz of soy sauce. Then it's seasoned with a load of turmeric powder, chili powder, salt, and curry powder.
It's more better than chicken. It tastes very good.
On the side, our chef chops tomatoes, carrots, and limes, then scatters them over the protein.
What part of the sheep is the flap?
When it's cooked, you know, it's got different layers of the fat, different layers of the meat.
So it's like flapping on the grill.
So it just flaps and then it separates and then that's where the name flaps comes from.
Sorry, I'm just getting emotional about the lamb flaps.
Oh.
Pile up the seasoned lamb to make space on the flat top, then add even more. Again, the lamb is sprayed, seasoned, and stacked until the flat top reaches full capacity.
How did you get into the lamb flap making business?
I watch people like to cook in the TV. I can try. Then I started to cook the lamb flap. So everybody liked the lamb flap. Said, hey, your lamb flap is very nice. Everybody came here. Some from overseas, like Australia Force, some member from parliament.
Now, in an unconventional move, the chef covers the whole heaping pile with plastic bags and cardboard. This is sure to seal in the flavor, plus maybe add a bit extra too.
You know, I thought it would look really cinematic to speak over the food, but the charcoal's on this side, and my eyes are right here.
Sorry?
No, don't be sorry.
Once grilled to perfection, each lamb flap is served with KAUKAU, or sweet potato, iceberg lettuce, a slice of cucumber, and a little extra soy sauce.
It reminds me a little bit of southern barbecue in Texas. We have pork ribs, which look to be about the same size, and we also like them a bit soft, so maybe it's a little bit similar. Maybe our cultures are not so different. That's what I'm saying.
We are united by food.
Right now, we have an incredible meal before us.
Joining my table, Caroline, co-owner of Primordial PNG Cultural Retreat, and Simon. He works for PNG's tourism board.
Thank you for joining me for this meal. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is a unique food for a couple of reasons. He covered everything with cardboard. I get that. You want to keep all the heat and moisture inside to make it soft. But before that, he covered it in plastic. How do you feel about the plastic? Is it
It doesn't add to the flavor.
I know. So you're starting with the lettuce.
You put it in the lettuce, you're making a wrap.
Little Korean barbecue. The lamb looks nice. It's greasy, soft, meaty.
The greasier, the better.
Cheers. The meat's delicious. Soft, juicy. It of course still has the lamby taste to it. I get why people like it. Mystery solved. The salt and seasonings he's put on there really comes through when you get a darker bite like this. That's heavy, and so you need to chase that with either some cucumber or some sweet potatoes. It's sweet, it's starchy, it's steamed perfectly, and the first thing I notice is the color is so different from a typical kind of orangey sweet potato that I'd be used to seeing. Why do you think this is so cheap compared to other cuts of meat?
Majority of lamb flaps is all imported from New Zealand.
Imported to me seems like it'd be more expensive.
There's a lot of freezers selling lamb flaps. That's why there's competition, so a lot of prices come down.
From here, we're going to a completely different neighborhood where they're eating food unlike anywhere else in Papua New Guinea.
20 minutes south of the city, we arrive at today's final destination, the floating Pari Village. Soon we'll see how piles of sea urchin are transformed into a seafood bread. This village of 3,000 consists mainly of the Motu people, descendants of Austronesian-speaking settlers who fancied this area 3,000 years ago. When guests arrive, they deliver a welcoming performance, similar to those their ancestors would have done generations ago.
Thank you.
To cap off the welcoming performance, a welcoming food. A treat that begins with the smashing of bananas. Mix in sago, a powder made by extracting the starchy pith from the sago palm. Wrap this yellow goo in banana leaves, then boil it for 15 minutes. In the meantime, coconuts are scraped, then squeezed, extracting their white, silky coconut milk. Strain the pulp, then boil it. The now cooked sago banana cake is cut into squares, then lathered with thick coconut milk. To make guests like Caroline and me feel more welcomed, Pari villagers offer to hand feed us the first bite.
There you go.
Thank you.
There you go.
It's
Don't
a
be
sign
shy.
that you're extremely welcome.
I feel very welcome. It tastes good. It's almost a little better when someone feeds you. I like that part. I could get used to that. When does that treatment end?
Oh, it's over. It's over.
Oh, it's over. Okay. So the flavor, it's interesting because you really taste some of that sweet banana. It's almost like the sago is just giving it some body and the banana's giving it a lot of sweetness. And then of course the coconut cream, a little bit of sweetness, giving it a yummy, creamy, sweet flavor. I like it. Jiggly, soft.
Jelly.
It's a fun texture.
It's a Moorish.
Moorish.
You keep wanting to have more.
Oh yeah.
It's very dangerous.
Hosting my welcoming meal, traditional tattooist Guba Kidu and her sister-in-law Carol Kidu, an Australian who somehow became a prominent Papuan politician.
Can you explain to me your involvement with this village?
This was always home. Our whole life has been built around this village.
Carol fell in love with Buaai Kidu, a law student from Pari Village studying in Queensland, Australia. They married in 1969. After the couple moved from Queensland to this very village, Buaai became the first Indigenous Chief Justice.
So you've known all these people for decades.
5 decades.
Following his death in 1994, Carol entered politics, advocating for human rights, gender equality, and welfare. Now retired, she looks after her family and community.
Part of my mission for the short time that I'm here today is to see how people live here and especially how people eat, because there is some very unique food found in this village that you might not find in any other parts of Papua New Guinea.
The lives of Pari villagers are inseparable from the ocean. They live above its saltwater waves. They travel along its currents, and they consume the bounty within. Here, seafood is always on the menu. Fish, prawns, even crabs. But given the right conditions and the right season, these waters offer something a bit more extravagant.
Preparations for our big final feast have begun. A very crucial component of our meal resides within these sea urchins here.
The edible roe of these sea urchins is considered a delicacy for many around the world. Costing up to hundreds of dollars per pound, they're typically used in small amounts for high-end dishes.
You're going in by hand, diving for the sea urchins. In one go, how many sea urchins are you collecting?
It's about 300.
That's a lot.
But the way sea urchins are used here in Pari is something like you've never seen before, including a recipe that requires an entire gloopy bowl of sea urchin roe.
So she takes the sea urchin right here, she kind of chops around the crown of it, takes the top half off, and then she peels inside. There's the bitter guts. She removes that, gives it a bit of a rinse in the pot here, and this, Carol, of course, is
The eggs. Do you want to try it raw?
well, ooh, I don't know, it's so sulfury. You want to try some? Oh wow, that's a big bite. Rich.
Sweet.
Ooh, it is so fatty. It's almost like eating an egg yolk, but even more rich and briny. From here, we're gonna scoop the eggs out of the remaining sea urchins and then cook these up and try them out.
This dish involves an organic DIY cooking contraption made by grilling banana leaves, then rolling them into a tube shape. The leafy vessel receives what would be a pricey portion of uni before being tied shut. It's then boiled for 20 minutes, transforming the creamy roe into a more solid composition. Then it's smoked over charcoal. News of our arrival has spread around the village, and we've been invited to sample each household's finest offering.
There's about 20 different foods here. Thank you so much, everyone. This is like the awesomest, most colorful potluck I've ever seen.
Starting off the meal, our long-awaited, luxurious grilled sea urchin roe, nestled inside crispy banana leaves.
Wow, that is something else. I mean, this is like a brick of sea urchin eggs. Let's give it a shot. Here we go. Oh wow, it's so different.
It's very similar to mussels.
I agree with that. Somewhat the flavor of mussels, but the texture, it's kind of like a pate.
The sea pate.
It's almost like a big doughy piece of bread. Hera, what do you think of this one?
I never eat this.
Here you go.
Thank you.
I love introducing people to their own food. She took a big, healthy piece. I'm impressed. What do you think?
Oh, it's lovely.
What's wild about this, Carol, is the price. Because if you were somewhere like Japan, I mean, they would never dream of making a whole brick of uni. It would cost $1,000. You've seen so many different changes here over time. Can you tell me a little bit about the difference from 50 years ago to now?
I'd say until 20 years ago, probably, we all had our own gardens. We grew tapioca, yam, banana, pumpkin and things. And gradually people started to sell their land, or else their land was just illegally occupied.
Pari villagers have lost the land they used for growing gardens. Seafood bounties are in decline, and it's harder and harder to earn money.
Sometimes people feel they have no hope. We have a problem with young people, like in many societies.
Self-reliance is diminishing, but Carol hasn't lost hope. Soon she'll share her vision for the future. But first, an iconic coastal food that always satiates and satisfies.
One of the traditions of the village is something called one-pot cooking.
One-pot cooking is a lively tradition where everything from hearty root vegetables to fresh fish are tossed into a single pot over an open fire, conjuring up a smoke-filled celebration. Today, our pot is filled with pumpkin, sweet potato, banana, cassava, and a thick tuna steak.
Cover it with leaf and cook it.
You just add, and wait.
Just wait.
This looks like a big, giant piece of tuna. Is that right?
Yes.
Caught freshly this morning.
All right, I want to try this. This is a taro right here. That's delicious. I want to try some of that broth.
Whichever protein that you put in determines the flavor of the one pot.
Yeah, it's just going to flavor everything else in there. I'm going to try the tuna. Tender, juicy, delicious.
It's very nice. This is organic cooking, really.
Yeah, this is like diet food. I mean, like real health food.
All the vegetables straight from the market.
No shelf life, no packaging. This is coconut rice. They mix the rice and the turmeric and spices together and then boil it in coconut.
All right. What does it taste like to you?
Like rice. Yeah.
I agree, the rice does taste like rice. Is that one cassava?
This has been grated and mixed with scraped coconut.
I'm going to stab a piece. Oh wow, it tastes great. It's kind of mushy, but soaked with coconut.
Anything cooked with coconut is actually very delicious.
Yeah, it just makes everything better.
From the capital, we're heading to the highlands, to a remote region so isolated it's accessible only by airplane. In a secluded area outside the city of Tari, you'll find the famed Huli Wigmen. Here we'll witness as a village comes together to cook an entire pig using only hot stones. But first, breakfast. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Wigmen. This morning they gave me the option of cinnamon toast crunch or this for breakfast. I'm going with this. Breadfruit, or MARITA, is a plant of the pandan family, and the first step in preparing it for breakfast is boiling water. Step 2 is to cut these open and break them into smaller chunks so they can be boiled. Wow, I mean, just look at this red color. It looks like the fruit is bleeding at this point. It looks so gnarly. You can see they're all equipped with this right here. This is a cassowary thigh bone. This is one of the biggest birds you will find in Papua New Guinea, and their thigh bone evidently makes a pretty good knife. Yes, thank you. So here you have a whole different perspective. The fruit, when it's split in half, you can see this red section only goes down about 3/4 of an inch. This is kind of like a corn husk in the center of the fruit, but this red bit right here, that's what we're after. Next, the MARITA husk is dug out using a bone knife. But the men's teeth come in handy too. These men are members of the Huli tribe, a group of about 250,000 people, making it one of the largest indigenous populations in the country. For over 600 years, they've been dwelling in the southern highlands and Hela province of Papua New Guinea. While breakfast is cooking, let me introduce you to the idea behind the Wigmen. These are men who craft intricate wigs using their own hair. Hello, sir. How are you?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Peter.
Oh, I was not expecting that. Biblical name. Peter, this is your hair?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is kind of unbelievable. It feels like felt when I touch it. And here's the other thing. It comes off because it's a wig. So this whole thing is created using his own hair. And you can see there's different tufts of hair on different portions of the wig. Obviously this is from a plant, but all this is matted, woven hair. How long did it take you to grow this wig?
5 years, 6 years.
I have so many questions about the wigs. Everybody here has a little bit different wig, a different design. There's so much to say about this. First of all, why didn't I do this when I was in my 20s, when I had more hair? I had to get a hair transplant. Soon, I'll learn the secret behind Huli wigs. How many wigs have you made in your life?
12 times.
12 times. But right now, all hands are on deck for breakfast prep. While some men focus on boiling the MARITA skin, others wash the tableware made from a giant chunk of tree bark. The red fruit has finished boiling, and right now they are stripping the seeds off of the outside. It looks incredible. It's literally dyeing their hands red as they do it. Now, soon they're going to be squeezing these seeds to extract the juice that's on the inside. But in the meantime, I've noticed them taking little bites here and there. Peter, you can eat this? Oh, he did not hesitate. So this was like the inner, oh wow. My fingers are red and oily now. I can't believe how oily this feels when it touches your skin. So this is a very thin portion of the husk that was holding all the seeds. I'm gonna give it a shot. The seeds are hard. It's very crunchy. It's like a water chestnut a little bit in the way it's crispy. The flavor, I heard earlier someone say it was sweet. It doesn't really taste sweet. It just tastes really fibrous. There's not a ton of flavor to it. The kiddo here, he's going to town on it. See, parents, teaching your kids to not be picky about foods, super easy. More? Look at that smile. He loves it. The final step, squeeze the red seeds with water and salt. Around here, this is a luxurious breakfast, considering the MARITA season only runs from October to March. The everyday alternative is KAUKAU, a kind of sweet potato. In times of food shortages, the Huli people may resort to eating KAUKAU 3 times a day. 1, 2, yum. Hey! Do you know why we do that?
Because we are happy now for the shooting now and we are prepared.
That's right, because we're happy. And also to match up the audio. This is Matthew. Today he'll help me connect with the Huli men. Though his upbringing was more modern, his ties to his Huli roots have not faded. Right here we've crafted some spoons.
Yes, this is made of MARITA leaf itself, and this is a temporary spoon.
This is an interesting food because how it works is there's these big seeds and there's kind of a gooey gravy sauce that's developed around them because the guys were squeezing it. So now it's very viscous and thick around the seeds, but you don't actually eat the seeds.
We don't.
Oh, wow, that's a big bite. I took a micro bite. So I can see they're chewing on it, masticating it, and then you just spit it out. Mmm.
So sweet.
The seeds are very hard. You have to hold the seeds. Hold on.
Yes.
You have to hold the seeds kind of with your teeth and suck to get all the juice, like strain it out with your mouth. And then you get that juice, which is almost more like a paste at this point. It is a little bit sweet. It almost has like a tomatoey acidity to it, but it's oily too and heavy. And what's weird is it kind of irritates my throat. It's not like it's spicy, but it has this feeling on my throat that's like, makes me want to clear my throat. Does it hurt your throat a little bit?
But you like that?
I like it. I want to chew more.
Oh, wow.
If you thought that course was peculiar, wait until you see the women's food.
Is that blood?
Yeah.
What? Speaking of, let's talk about the ladies. Matthew, where are the ladies?
Oh, they are prohibited. They are not allowed to enter men's area. It's our tradition.
From the creation of their tribe, Huli men and women have been living separately, even those who are married. Events like weddings, harvests, and clan meetings bring Huli men and women together, with gatherings often centered around a giant feast, like the one we'll see later today.
Soon they're gonna light a fiery pit. That's gonna heat up a bunch of stones. That's gonna eventually cook him.
But even at feasts, men and women eat separately, and each with their own assigned foods.
What is the purpose of keeping men and women separated?
Women are not good to look at or even to talk to or even sit together and eat together. They are known as dirty creatures.
Dirty creatures.
Mean, smelly.
Is it because they menstruate?
Because of menstruation. That's the main point. And boys are not able to get anything from the mother with their bare hands. And when boys grow up, they are not going to get closer to any girls or women, even their mother's house. So this tradition stays here with us today.
As an outsider, I'm not bound by the tribe's rules. So soon, I'll join the women in the women's house to get their side of the story.
Who do you think smells better, men or women?
But I can't leave the men until I understand their wig obsession.
Matthew, right now we are in the boys' house. What exactly happens in the boys' house?
There's a special sheep there who look after young men, discipline them, and at the same time, look after their making or wig growing.
Once the Huli boys turn 4, they leave their mother's care and move into the men's house. Then at 14 years of age, they attend wig school.
To participate in wig school, they go to a place where there is a creek. That area is kept sacred. No women or girls are allowed to enter that place. Every morning, before 6, they go out to the creek and then they spread water out their hair. When they keep giving water, they use some magic spells for the hair grow.
But does that magic spell work for old guys? Because I noticed some of these guys are kind of bald now.
His hair has been grown already. He will never go back again and grow the second time or repeat.
When the boy's hair is long enough, they use bamboo bands to shape it like a mushroom. Eventually, their hair is clipped close to their scalp, creating the renowned Huli wig. Bird feathers are then added for a little flair. Huli men can grow several wigs in their lifetime, and the shape of their wigs shift from a mushroom form to that of a bullfighter's toreador as they grow older.
Peter, how many wigs have you made in your life?
12 times.
12 times?
Yes. Oh,
He sold it.
He sold it?
He sold it for to others who doesn't have it. Or to tourists.
Do you sometimes wish that you had your old wig?
No. And make money.
He said, I make some money.
I made some money.
But now you have one wig remaining. Will you ever sell this wig?
That's for his lifetime, until he dies. He will pass it to his child.
I'm absolutely fascinated by the culture and lifestyle here, but at the same time, I want to see how the women are doing.
Lately. To thank the Huli women for their warm hospitality, I've gifted them several chickens, which they promptly transformed into a hearty stew. To prepare this dish, first the women slaughter, feather, and remove the organs from my gift. Next, they grill the chicken and its intestines over an open fire before chopping them up and adding them to a giant pot full of greens and starches.
Inside that pot, we had some chicken, sweet potatoes, and a banana, some cabbage, pumpkin leaves, chocolate leaves, broccoli, carrot, onion, gingers are ingredients. That's all come from the garden.
So right now I'm in the ladies' house, is that correct?
Yes, you're right.
Ordinarily, men are not allowed into the woman's house, but today I am. Is it because you don't see me as a man?
No.
Oh, okay. Just checking.
Finally, with the men out of the picture, I learned more about the life of Huli women.
One thing I've learned already is that the ladies smoke. Can I smoke a woman's pipe?
You can, you can. You pull your wind back and then you pop it. Pop it out. Yes. Send it out. Oh no. Oh,
that's really
sorry.
good. Thank you. Very cultural experience. Soon I want to ask some questions about the roles of men and women and how they differ. But first, the men had some pretty charged, intense words for the women.
They are known as dirty creatures.
And so I guess one question I have is, Margaret, who do you think smells better, men or women?
Men.
Really?
Men sleeps in a men's house and they start growing the hair. They wash every day and they look clean every day. Women don't wash every day. They sleep with pig. That's why they don't look nice and smell nice.
Traditionally, Huli women are responsible for caring for children, tending to gardens, and raising pigs for the community. while men handle building houses and hunting to provide for the family.
But some mothers, widow mothers and children, they have problems. Some feeling hungry, not enough food in their house, in their garden, because they are all widows. No provider, no man. So we had to have a special meeting or gathering, and we provide food.
Ladies, thank you for allowing me to join you today. This is a very special and unique moment. My understanding is that one of the big challenges for the widowed women here, as you spoke of earlier, is food. At least today, we got a lot. So I was wondering if we could join together and try some of this.
They're more than happy.
This is what I like. There's a lot of stuff in here. There's vegetables, there's cabbage, there's potatoes. The first thing everybody grabbed was chicken. Everyone goes for the meat. The food is delicious. The chicken, beautifully stewed. It tastes like all the vegetables it's been stewed with. It tastes like cabbage and broccoli. Sounds like she likes it.
She likes it.
Oh, sure. Nothing brings people together more than food, except for maybe alcohol. When is the last time you ate chicken?
Since husband was here.
Oh my gosh. What about you?
Only for one birthday I'm invited.
Oh my God. What kind of food are you usually eating since your husband passed away?
They're eating KAUKAU.
Just only sweet potato?
Yes, with some greens and pumpkin leaves.
When a Huli woman loses her husband and provider, sustaining even the most basic living conditions becomes nearly impossible.
The big thing is here, she's always worried about the big number of children, 7 of them, who's going to school, who's need provided clothes, any other needs in the family.
Knowing this, I'm even more grateful that soon they'll join one of the biggest community gatherings this village has ever seen.
Now I'm told the ladies get to eat the pig's intestines and the blood. Both of those things are gonna be in here.
But as we sit together, I can't help but notice the widow's appearance.
There's a tradition here for widows that you won't find almost anywhere else. Can you tell me what happens after a woman's husband passes away?
After the woman's husband died, they go to a woman's house. They put on a widow clothes.
So there's kind of a net material she's wearing and a grass skirt. The biggest, most notable thing would be the white clay on all their faces.
After the husband's death, a widow will dress this way for 1 year, believing it will hide her from her late husband's spirit and help her move on.
Even the children also, they all dress in widow clothes. There's a respect of the husband.
She also wears a seed necklace, removing 1 seed daily until her mourning is complete.
They will stay around the area for at least a year.
Within a couple of kilometers?
Yes.
However, the mourning ritual doesn't stop them from attending village celebrations.
So you've met the men, you've met the women, and now we're gonna witness the most epic feast that can take place among Huli tribe members. Start of the show right here. Oh, he's gonna be deeply, intimately involved with our next meal, a meal known as the MUMU.
The MUMU, an ancient earth oven method of cooking that requires a load of stones, wood, and fire. Soon this entire portly pig will be buried underground and cooked solely by the heat of hot stones.
This is one of the most epic food preparations I've ever seen in my life. Teamwork, that's what's happening behind me, and a tradition that goes back hundreds, if not thousands of years, the MUMU. Soon, this pig is gonna be cooked underground, but before that, they have to remove all of the hair. So what do? They build a fire, they put 2 big logs on top of it, and then they roll the pig back and forth using bamboo to scrape the hair away. Why is this important? Because every part of the pig is gonna be eaten, especially the skin.
Once the pig's hair is scraped clean, butchering can begin. Trusting in the sharpness of a bamboo stick and a small axe, our men remove the innards and distribute them according to gender. Liver and ribs are reserved for the gentlemen, while the lucky ladies get all the blood and intestines. From here, an army of effort is deployed. Some men carry on butchering, hacking the pig into smaller pieces. A few others prepare an appetizer by grilling the ribs and liver over an open fire. But the most manpower is allocated to building the pit that will soon cook our epic main course.
Everything is coming together. The rocks are insanely hot, so hot that they're exploding. After the rocks were heated up, they removed a bunch of them. They put banana leaves on top, and now they're putting ferns and different greens on top. This is going to create a barrier between the rocks and the meat so it doesn't burn.
Bush fern, KAUKAU, bananas, taro, and various local edible plants are the pig's companions in this fiery pit.
All right, guys, right here, we have a whole half of a pig, and that gets flipped absolutely on top of this whole mess. Ugh. And then the other side of the pig, right here, we have the whole spinal column and the head that gets jammed in too. So all the meat is laid out evenly. We can't have anything too thick or too thin because now we're going to be putting on even more hot stones, and then that's going to cook it. Oh, wow. This is amazing. Some of the stones, they're putting directly in contact with the meat. This is insane. They're using these giant stick wooden tweezers to move these hot stones. They're so unbelievably hot, they could not do this by hand. Sometimes they'll put one banana leaf in between to stop it from searing, but really, they're carefully placing these hot rocks strategically so it cooks every part of the meat evenly. Yeah, buddy. This is like the energy here. Everyone coming together for a common goal. Everyone's so pumped. Oh, now even more vegetation going on top.
With the ingredients in place, the heat must be locked in using the weight of soil.
Right now you can see there's still some steam peeking out from different holes, and they're doing their best to take the soil to cover up and plug all of those holes so all the heat is completely locked inside. So I'm told maybe an hour, 2 hours, and then we will dig this up and see what we got.
Right now, our appetizer is ready.
All right, folks, our meal today has some staggered courses, some eaten by men and some eaten by the ladies. Right here, we have some parts that are meant just for the men. You've got the ribs, you've got the liver, and then we have some back leg meat as well. First of all, the liver being cut up right now with this bamboo knife. Oh boy, this liver is pretty black on the outside. This pig was a heavy drinker. I got a pretty chewy piece. You like it? It's good? Right here, we have some ribs. Earlier, when I was talking to Matthew, I said, why are the ribs dedicated to men? Because that's a really good part. And he said, no, it's the best part. So I thought there was something maybe more spiritual involved. Turns out it's really yummy, so they want to eat it. I say, that's pretty delicious. The meat, it's amazing because there's nothing on it. It's basically just pig and fire. It's the most basic elements known to man. Protein, fat, charcoal, fire. That's it. It's smoky. Some of the fat has charred a bit, giving it a little bit of a delicious burnt flavor. It's juicy. People like to shake hands when they eat here. They get so pumped, they start shaking hands with each other. Yeah. Now, I want to point out something while we're here. You have met a lot of the Wigmen, but before Wigmen became men, they were Wig students. This gentleman is a Wig student, so right now he's got about an inch of hair going, and it's going to take probably a couple more years before his wig is finalized. One day this is going to look like this. But you're looking good. Good progress, man. Yeah. So from here, we're going to finish up our snack for the boys, and then we're going to show you what the ladies get to eat. Right here, we have some food meant just for the ladies, huh? I forgot they don't know English. Now, I'm told the ladies get to eat the pig's intestines and the blood. Both of those things are going to be in here.
Since it's nearly impossible to grill blood, the Huli women soak up the blood into clumps of fern and edible plants. Then they stuff that blood-soaked salad inside bamboo tubes along with pieces of intestine. Finally, they grill the bamboo until the contents are cooked through.
Oh, that is definitely intestine. Oh, Jesus. Do not cross Lynn. Lynn just crushed bamboo with her bare fingers. There's a lot of vegetation and then a good amount of intestine in here as well. Nah.
Thank you, Arabe.
Arabe is thank you. There you go. They put in the vegetation. I'm not sure if that's to help it stay in place or if we're going to eat that too. Naminya?
Nah.
Naminya. Pig's intestine is greasy, it's heavy, it's very chewy. Sweet. It's so interesting. Almost every food today people have described as being sweet, even when they were so obviously not sweet at all to me. But perhaps I've destroyed my taste buds through years of eating Golden Grams and Cinnamon Toast Crunch. These are some of the greens that were inside. Ooh. Really? Even the plants, they're saying it's sweet. It's so bitter. Camera guy, do you want some?
Yeah.
Is that blood?
Yeah.
What? Right here, mixed with a bunch of greens, we have blood. So she's got the knife. She's gonna cut it in half. Oh, it's so hot. It's so fucking hot. Okay, that's good. I got a little piece right here. Is it delicious? It's new, it's different, it's unseasoned greens are watery, it's a little bit bitter, and then there's a bit of crumbly blood in there too. Tenapi!
It's time to dig up and reveal the MUMU.
Right now you can see the steam absolutely pouring through the soil and any vents that it can. There's so much heat inside that is pent up. I can feel it coming out of the ground right now as the rain comes down upon us. We hope that this meat has cooked all the way through. Oh, wow. We are getting really close. Slowly, they're revealing the pig. As you can see the shape of the body right here, the back leg. Oh, is that the head? Right here, we have the head. He's digging it out. We got to find out soon if it's actually cooked all the way through. The food is moving to the eating area. All right, the other meat's coming in hot. Boom. This is the final result right here. We have the pig's spine right here, and then over here, 2 halves of the pig. This thing is thick. That's looking pretty cooked through right now. Yes? Yes. In a moment, they're gonna divvy all this up, cut it up, split into small groups, and then everyone's gonna start eating, even though it's raining. I think it's going down no matter what. The food is cooked, people are happy. We gotta make this happen. The last thing to get dug up is all these vegetables. We've had sweet potato, he's eating some of those bitter greens, and I've got this right here, a banana. The most potatoey, starchy banana I've ever had in my life. All this food is delicious. I swear it's a different flavor than if you just put it in a pot and boil it in water. It's taken on some of the flavor of those greens or maybe the pig or maybe both. These sweet potatoes are so delicious and warm and steamy, which is nice on a semi-rainy day. But from here, the meat.
As the rain becomes more intense, our expected communal feast is washed away, but no one will leave empty-handed. The meat is portioned and passed around for families to bring home. But for some WIG students and myself, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity I'm not willing to let slip by.
All right, folks, we have our final meal right here. I'm hanging out with the WIG students. When you become an old Wigman, you can't really hang out in the rain. It's gonna make your wig frizzy. All the guys today, as soon as it would sprinkle a little water today, they would put an umbrella up, they would hide from the rain. But these guys, they've got wigs in progress. That means it can get wet. That means we are in the rain eating some pork. So he's gonna cut it using the traditional bamboo knife. That's still a pretty big piece, actually. Please. You're welcome. Here you go. I'm looking at this pig skin. It looks pretty dark and almost brownish green. It's got quite a color to it. It's hard to the touch, but not crispy. Cheers. That was a fat pig. That is pure, greasy, oily fattiness, plus kind of a crispy skin. It's not crispy in the traditional way. It's not like crackling skin. Super oily, fatty, and then the skin is really tough. Guys, take a look at this beautiful piece right here. That is the whole front leg. Oh, some of the meat came right off of there.
Okay, amen.
Yeah, please. Here. There you go. That's really good. The pork is absolutely delicious. It just goes without saying, you don't need anything special. You need some heat and you need a pig, and that's about it. These guys absolutely nailed it. Now, it's a certain type of texture. This isn't slow cooked, it's not braised, so it's a little bit of a tougher meat. It definitely has some chew to it, but these guys do not mind at all. They just use the bamboo to cut it down to size and throw it back. Awesome. What you see here is the spirit of MUMU, as far as I understand it. It's about camaraderie, people coming together, the community, the culture, everybody in the area enjoying a meal together. It's energetic. The MUMU does not work alone or with one family. It has to be a community thing, especially if you're doing it at this scale.
From the highlands of Tari, we head to the lowlands along the Sipik River. New geography means a new way of life, new food, and a dark, complex history.
You seem to believe that eating the enemies actually produced power. Yeah.
Next, I'll spend the day with the descendants of cannibals, uncovering whether the practice of consuming human flesh still lingers to this day. But first, a welcome meal with the chief.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Joining the table, Judas, the hunter, Jacob, the village chief, and his son, who also goes by Jacob. Like many in Papua New Guinea, these men carry biblical names, the lasting influence of the Christian missionaries who came here over a century ago. But more on that later.
In front of us, we have two foods that really...
Our main foods.
Your main foods.
Yes.
Smoked tilapia, no salt, no seasoning. This is one of the two staples that keep the Chambri tribe going day in and day out.
How do folks here make money?
We got only fish.
Do you catch the fish here and smoke them to sell them?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Over butter systems.
Really?
Yeah.
The Chambri people, who call this place home, face 6-month annual floods that make farming nearly impossible.
This is a black light.
This is high flood.
High flood come.
Right, it comes all the way up here.
The land is swallowed by water, leaving little choice but to adapt, turning the river itself into their livelihood. Abundant and bountiful, fish are the true currency here. Instead of dealing in money, they barter, trading fish for essentials like salt, vegetables, chickens, and one staple that's always in demand, sago.
This right here is sago, one of the most unique carbohydrates you'll find anywhere around the world.
The sago palm can be found in tropical lowlands across Southeast Asia and New Guinea.
They get into this right here. So when you're eating sago, you're literally eating a tree.
Each tree can yield up to 600 pounds of starch, which is extracted from the pith.
But there are some steps involved before this can become something you can actually digest.
The collected sago starch is mixed with river water and passed through a straining system. It flows through 2 layers of filtering nets made from coconut tree fibers, before finally settling in a carved wooden vessel.
Do you drink that water?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just right from the river?
We didn't have a water thing here.
It just surprises me a little bit. I thought maybe there might be a filtering system or boiling.
No.
What will happen to me if I drink the river water?
You got problem now.
Maybe you only have diarrhea.
Diarrhea? It's my new weight loss program.
After 3 days, the water is removed, leaving behind the resulting sago that once dried is ready for cooking. First, the sago flour is spread out on a pan. Then it's taken to the side and sprinkled with river water. Fold it in half and put it back on the hot pan. Once cooked, soak the sago again with that flavorful river water before letting it set.
Can we start with the sago?
Yeah, you can try.
Folks here call this flat sago.
With fish.
That makes sense because this does not have a ton of flavor. It's very earthy, tastes like the river. The texture is very elastic and kind of gummy. It's like I just found some gum under a table in the library and started chewing it again. Right here we have the tilapia. The skin is very soft and kind of gelatinous, almost a little slimy on the outside. The meat is just very soft and delicate. I can taste the minerality of the water.
When I grow up, I have to eat fish and sago. That's my main food.
Do you ever get sick of fish and sago? No.
Sometimes you have onion, you can mix it. It's very nice.
Any of that has to come from the market.
Yeah.
You have to trade for that.
Yeah, mainland people, they don't have fish.
But you got fish.
We got fish.
However, bartering for necessities here isn't as simple as a quick trip to the grocery store. For the villagers, it means hours of travel through the only available route.
Right now we're traveling on a longboat made out of a huge hollowed out tree on the Sepik River here in Papua New Guinea.
The Sepik River, the longest in Papua New Guinea. It's often compared to the Amazon and the Nile as one of the world's greatest river systems. It flows through one of the most culturally and linguistically diverse regions on the planet, with over 300 languages spoken along its banks.
To get where we are now takes a lot of work. From our last video, we left from the city of Tari and flew all the way to BUAI. Then we drove 4 hours and got on the river. Now we're traveling 2 hours down this river to a village to meet a people known as the Crocodile tribe.
The Chambri people number only a few thousand.
There are no conveniences out here. No electricity, no Wi-Fi, no grocery stores. People here have to be self-sufficient. They literally have to survive in the elements using their creativity and using their skills.
The scars carved into their flesh have earned them the moniker Crocodile Men. But what's often left unsaid is buried in their dark past: headhunting and cannibalism. Topics like these can only be discussed in the Spirit House, a place meant only for men and a place I'll soon be invited. There, I'll learn why human flesh was eaten in the past and if it's still possible to observe this dark practice today.
Have you ever been curious about what a human tastes like?
But before that, village hunters Judas and Cleon proudly unveil tonight's menu.
An epic reveal, an animal that we'll soon be consuming today. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen somebody in this village get bit by a crocodile?
Yeah.
What happened?
It was 18 to 19 inches. While they were hunting, they tried to bring him up with the surface of the water. He opened his mouth and bite the hand.
And did he lose his hand?
Or he pulled his hand off.
I want to talk about the significance of crocodiles in this part of Papua New Guinea. Your tribe is often described by outsiders as the crocodile tribe, and there's a good reason for that.
We believe in crocodile. So crocodile is a very strong animal. The strong of crocodile, we put this scales on our body.
Is it okay if we see?
The Chambri people believe Earth rests on the back of an ancestral crocodile, from which humans evolved as they migrated from the Sepik River.
How old were you when this was done?
17 years old.
To them, the crocodile embodies spirit, manhood, strength, and power.
So today we have 2 crocodiles being cooked 2 different ways. We had a big crocodile that's being prepared separately, and then we have this little guy right here. It's been skinned, and now it's being smoked whole. Smoking is kind of the specialty of this village, and it's a skill that's absolutely crucial in order for them to be able to trade and sell fish. Smoking the fish means that they'll last longer. They're preserved so then they can keep them until they need to barter or trade them for something else, like their precious sago or like salt or maybe beer? Can I get a beer here? Hopefully beer too. This crocodile's gonna take about 4 hours to smoke all the way through. And then, are we gonna barter it? No. There will be no trade. Instead, we'll be trying it out.
The second crocodile is a different story, but while it's being butchered, I'm headed to the most sacred place in the village.
Thank you so much for inviting me into the spirit house.
Here, us men can speak freely about topics that are forbidden in the presence of women.
It's a place for men to gather.
Women are not allowed.
Why not?
They don't have skull.
So all of you have undergone the crocodile scarification, right?
Yeah.
This scarification ritual isn't just a rite of passage. It's a raw test of courage and resilience. Overcoming this test marks the transition into manhood.
They make a fence around the spirit house that no women or ladies can look through.
Inside, the boys are taught tribal customs and the responsibilities of manhood, preparing them for the ritual ahead.
And they're cutting you. The feeling, are you in pain? Are you excited?
It's painful, but after all, you're going to be happy.
You're using a razor blade, right?
Yeah, our ancestors used the bamboo, but now we are using the blade.
With cutting complete, oil is applied to soothe the pain, and clay is rubbed into the wounds to ensure the scars heal with a raised texture, mimicking the scales of a crocodile.
How long did it take you to heal?
5 or 6 days and finish.
Once their transformation is complete, the crocodile men shoulder great responsibility for the tribe. They must build, protect, and at times launch attacks on neighboring tribes, bringing back the heads of their enemies that will be consumed by future warriors. But before we get into that, a slightly less controversial meat.
This is your wife sitting next to you, Albina.
Hello.
It's very nice to meet you. He's taking the knife to the tail and he's just cutting it right in half. Take a look at this. This is the small crocodile too, and that is so much meat. This looks amazing. Oh yeah, that looks incredible.
Very nice.
It's very flaky like a fish.
No, it shouldn't be like chicken meat.
You think like chicken?
Yeah.
To me, it tastes like halfway between a fish and a chicken. It's nice and smoky. Alina, what do you think?
Very good.
I'm curious, when did you two meet each other?
So when I was going down to her village, and I met her, and I married her, and I took her to my home.
Was it already arranged?
It was been arranged marriage. I made the agreement with her parents.
Wow. When you first saw Judas, what did you think the first time you saw his scars?
She said, okay, this person will be look after me. He can go and hunt for the crocodile, for the pig. So she said, this man is okay.
It was a symbol to let her know that you would be a protector and a provider.
Yes,
That's what it sounds like, she said.
Yes.
What is the Western equivalent of that? Like a Mercedes-Benz having 50 Bitcoin?
For our second crocodile dish, the meat is cut into bite-sized pieces. On the side, coconut flesh is scraped and mixed with river water to extract fresh coconut milk.
And you have children?
1 son and 3 daughters.
Do you want your son to undergo the same scarification that you went through?
Yes.
You do?
That coconut milk is poured into the pot with the crocodile meat, along with salt, MSG, curry powder, and some vegetables.
My son also must follow my steps. He must go to the school.
Go to school.
Come back, get a qualification.
Be scarred.
Yes.
And then get married.
Yeah.
If your son continues to live in this village, what is the purpose of the education?
We have a school here, primary school here. So you can come back and become a teacher, and then you can look after me and my wife.
It's cooked down until most of the water evaporates, leaving behind a creamy, rich, succulent meal.
This is very good. It's got a nice texture, less flaky than the smoked bit we just had. It's got a little bit more like mushiness to it, a nice bite. It's creamy from that coconut. It's a really good flavor.
Yeah, I like that. When I hunt, then I hit the crocodile only once in a week. But if I didn't go to hunt, fish and sago from lunch, dinner and breakfast.
Do you ever get sick of fish and sago?
No, we don't have vegetables. This is our daily food.
Okay.
Soon, I'll get a chance to try the world's most dangerous bird, a bird known to have killed men nearby this village.
I see him with 2 eyes.
How did it happen?
Kill them with the legs.
Oh.
His leg is powerful, very powerful.
Powerful.
But first, there's another type of meat so rare and taboo that most don't even dare to mention its existence.
Could you tell me what is the purpose of the bloodstones?
In front of the spirit house stands a pair of stones, holding deep significance to the people of this clan.
Our ancestors, they went to the other village and they fight with other tribes, and when they kill the enemies, they bring the heads and they put the heads of the patient on the stone and the blood fall on the stone. Later on, they get a skull and go and put it in the spirit house.
They're going to get the meat of the skull. They're going to kill dog or pig, and they're going to mix it up with meat and they give it to the small boys. Give it to them. They're going to, yeah, that's a pig meat or dog meat you eat. They're going to eat real human meat.
Really?
Yeah.
This isn't the first time I've encountered a tribe with cannibalism in its history. In Papua, Indonesia, the Karawai people once killed members of other tribes and ate their flesh as a form of punishment. Here in Papua New Guinea, the PALIMBEI clan, a branch of the Chambri people, followed a similar practice.
What was the purpose of feeding the children the flesh of your enemies?
Later, they will become a warrior. So they are the strongest men who later will go and fight the enemies.
Do you believe that it made them stronger?
Yeah.
And when is the last time these bloodstones were actually used?
Around World War II.
About 80 years ago.
80 years.
And so what was the change? Why did that tradition stop?
The police will come and arrest you and go and look.
If there were no police, do you think people would still be killing?
They're still killing.
Wow, so just because they might get in trouble, people don't do it.
Yeah.
Since then, many tribes, including the PALIMBEI, converted to Christianity, leaving those brutal practices behind.
How does it feel knowing that these were your ancestors?
That's our history.
Sure. You seem to like the story.
Yeah.
And you seem to believe that eating the enemies actually produced power.
Yeah.
So you seem kind of proud of it, right?
Yeah.
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 But you're not going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do now.
So if you could do it, you would. Have you ever been curious about what a human tastes like? No.
No.
At least for the Chambri tribe, eating human flesh was never about sustenance, but about power. Fortunately, this dark practice will never again be observed on this island.
At last, here we have it, the most dangerous bird in the world, the cassowary. Right. So let's talk. A couple of days ago, they caught this bird. They brought it here so we could see it while it was alive, and this morning, it died of natural causes. It may not be the freshest meat, but it is the most dangerous bird meat in the world.
The cassowary can only be found deep in the forests of Papua New Guinea and Australia. Powerful and dangerous. They're also adept at disappearing long before being spotted by human eyes.
This is a rare and special event that we would even have this bird here, a brand new species for me, and something this tribe only gets to enjoy every once in a while.
Weighing up to 150 pounds and standing 6 feet tall, the cassowary is generally a shy creature. Though that's not the story you'll hear if you ask around the village.
The cassowary is special. They have strong legs capable of delivering a strong kick. But it's not just about the kick, it's about the dagger-like claws at the end of its feet that can be up to 5 inches long. This is what it uses to slash up predators or even humans.
The bird will be cooked 2 ways. The first dish may seem simple. Designed to highlight the true flavor of the animal, the meat is grilled with just a touch of salt.
Ladies, thank you for joining me. I've been around too many guys today, so I needed a little bit of estrogen around me. The guys, they're great, but they're just talking about crocodiles and scarring themselves. It was a bit much. You understand, right?
Yes.
I mean, you live with these guys. Grilled, charred, blackened? It's very dark. You prepared this.
Yes.
Tell me about your preparation here.
About this one. I made a fire and I put them on the wire. It become, it look like this.
It looks very black. I'm seeing these different body parts. What, is it ribs?
Yes, it's ribs.
Those are some big ribs. Oh, this is a wing?
Yes.
Look at this tiny wing. What kind of wing is that? Have any of you eaten this before?
Yes.
I ate last year.
I even eat.
It's gonna be my first time as well, Hannah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So it's black on the outside, but on the inside, red, kind of beefy looking. Let's go for it.
It's very nice.
It's delightfully smoky. It's very fatty, beefy, has a strong flavor. I like it. But I'm curious, you know, way out here, people don't really have pastures. You have wild pigs, you have fish, but are you ever eating beef?
No.
Have you ever had beef?
Never.
Wow. So have you ever had beef?
No.
Where do you have to go to get beef?
Then we are in city. They sell it in the store.
Interesting.
We eat fish and
Fish and sago. Fish and sago. Do you ever get tired of fish?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes
we tired of.
Is this fun to try? Something new? Is this good?
Yes.
Good. To go with the bird, we need something else. We need something a bit familiar.
For the carbohydrate, sago is on the menu again. But this time, the sago flour is mixed with hot water and stirred until it forms a sticky, gooey texture.
This is one of the most interesting, glutinous, strange carbohydrates I've ever seen in my life. It smells kind of fermented. I'm not sure if that's going to catch on in the US anytime soon. It's such a fun but strange, gooey texture. Almost slimy a little bit. Very jiggly. The flavor, not very strong.
We must eat with the protein.
And so, we need some of this.
Our second dish starts with homemade salt, created by first burning coconut husks.
When we have no salt in our home, we use this one, traditional salt.
Then using the coconut tree fibers as a filter, water is poured over ashes, leaving the cinders behind, but allowing a salty liquid to pass through.
That tastes salty?
Yes.
Yes.
A single pot receives meat from the most prized part of the bird, its massive legs, vegetables, and after cooking for some time, coconut milk joins the other ingredients.
This is a local dish known as waswukia. Just moments ago, these were the drumsticks, full of plump, juicy leg meat. Now that meat has been removed and put into here. This is eventually going to be turned into a tool, a knife that looks like this. A cassowary bone blade, made out of the strongest bone in this bird's body. Now I know what you're thinking. What about those delicious bird feet? Well, my Vietnamese friends and wife will be very sad to know that this will be discarded. This will not be eaten. It looks delicious. It smells good. It smells a little smoky. Let's give it a shot. Did you try some already?
Yes.
Oh, I knew it. The greens are a little bit watery. Tastes a little bit like spinach. You like it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I see that. Enjoy it, please. This time the meat is very soft, very tender, still beefy, but delicious. It tastes a little salty.
Yes.
It's not a very strong flavor, but it also does not taste like ash. It's a unique flavor. So between this and this, what do you like more?
We like this one.
Oh, you decided for everybody?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
This one is dry.
Wow. Who cooked that?
I cook it.
We can leave it for a month and it
Oh, that's a pretty nice compliment.
Leaving the lowlands behind, we journey to Papua New Guinea's islands,
Right now we're on an island known as New Britain, all the way to the east side.
where people of the same nation lead lives that feel like stepping into a different world. Soon, I'll uncover why brave hunters risk their lives digging up wild bird eggs from volcanic soil.
But the danger is not just that we're near a volcano. There are people who have died doing this job, right?
Yes. But before we venture into the wild, let's explore Koki Market, the largest market on this side of New Britain Island. It's the best place to get to know the local food scene.
Right beside me, you can see a vast selection of some of the foods available here. They've got rice balls, they've got fried bread, and they have something here called, can I hold your sign? Thank you. Sausage flour. These are big, beautiful red sausages that have been covered in a batter and fried. Can I hold your sausage flour? Thank you. To me, it's kind of like a Papua New Guinean corn dog. You've got the dog and you've got a little bit of batter. It's not exactly made with corn flour. It's not exactly thick, but it's their way of doing the corn dog. Let's go for it. That's a respectable wiener. I like that. Heavy, super greasy. It's got a nice skin. As you bite through it, the skin kind of snaps back. And then the flour part is just like a little bit of a bonus. I wouldn't even say it's really crunchy. It's kind of cooled down at this point from the point at which it was fried at her house. Did you make this at your house? Yes. She made it at her house.
This unusual little sausage is today's appetizer, preparing my palate for a day of unique island dining, including this, a soup wrapped inside banana leaves.
Ladies, put her there. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is local guide Elizabeth and Koki Market manager Sylvia.
You're kind of an administrator for the market. What do you have to do?
Looking at foods and the qualities, make sure they're right.
Maybe I'm an administrator. Do you eat it too?
Yeah, sure.
I'm an administrator. I'm not getting paid though, that's for sure.
Under Sylvia's watch, Koki Market has become a go-to hub for freshly picked vegetables from local gardens and scrumptious seafood plucked from the nearby sea.
How long has this market been here?
It's located at roughly like 20 years. It was once been a rubble town, and after the eruption, they all moved here.
Sylvia is recalling Mount Tavurvor's volcanic eruption 30 years ago, an event that destroyed the former capital, Rabaul, and that forced over 50,000 people to evacuate and rebuild their lives, this time further away from the volcano.
From that time, have people started building again closer to the volcano?
Yes, sir.
This could happen again though, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Although Mount Tavurvor is still active and potentially dangerous, locals still keep going there. And soon, we will too. I'll explain why soon.
But first, this. This is a food known as karakap.
Karakap.
This is a coconut-based soup, traditionally cooked without a pot. Instead, locals arrange coconut husks in a circle and layer banana leaves to form a cooking vessel.
Is this a food that you grew up with?
Yes.
Starches like bananas and sweet potatoes go in first, followed by pumpkin leaves and fiery hot stones. These stones serve as the only heat source to cook the food through. Coconut milk is splashed all around the greens. Then smoked tuna is added. Finally, the entire bundle is wrapped and sealed with coconut husks, allowing the heat from the stones to cook the ingredients within.
Pumpkin tips, banana. This is what we plant in the garden. Fish, we just buy it in the market.
So it's a food that uses all the local ingredients that almost every person here might have access to.
Yes.
Once cooking is complete, the food is portioned into serving-sized bundles that end up here at the market. The question is, did all that soupy coconut milk leak out on the way here? Let's find out.
Stella, thank you for joining us today. We have our food right here. This is very mysterious for me because I don't actually know what it looks like at all. All right, so I popped the top. Oh, you have it on the table.
Put it down.
You don't want the soup to spill off.
Oh, wow, there's a lot of stuff in here. But there's liquid too. It's like a milky white kind of coconut juice. This is like 2 strips of fish. Pretty conservative, small pieces of fish. And then a lot of vegetables. But then under that, you will find the bananas. So what do you start with when you eat this?
Banana.
The banana is still quite hard. It's smoky. Some coconut dripping off of it. I would love if it was boiled a bit longer because it's still very hard and a bit dry.
But the thing is, if it boils a bit longer, it gets really dry.
Oh, more dry?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. I know, it's pretty hard to swallow.
Yeah, the information and this literally.
Okay, greens.
I like this. We're saving the protein up. Oh, this is a lot of greens. There we go. The greens are delicious. Smoky. Everything has an air of smokiness to it and very fibrous, but good because there's a lot of flavor in there too. The greens really soak up the kind of broth that's made from the fish and from the coconut juice. This is really excellent. How often are you eating something like this and what is the occasion?
This is like an everyday occasion.
Daily?
Yeah, you can have it for dinner or lunch.
Compared to the highlands, where the staple food is KAUKAU, seasonally paired with red fruit and pork.
Right here, 2 halves of the pig.
Or the Sepik riverbanks in the lowlands, where every meal revolves around fish and sago.
Do you ever get sick of fish and sago?
No, we don't have vegetables. This is our daily food.
The island diet is heavily influenced by the coastal environment.
One of the differences we have is we cook with coconut. The other difference is banana. They have potatoes. We have bananas over here. The other difference is a form of greens that we have.
It is not only pumpkin tips. It's karakap, kagwa, buara, cabbage, a lot of greens.
I gotta say, usually I would mock the vegetables, but they taste excellent. From there we have the fish. Let's give it a shot. Tuna also a bit dry. I think the fat's kind of cooked out of it, but it does have a nice flavor, but the flavor is reminiscent of a canned tuna.
Right.
Okay, you want to drink soup? Just break little from the leaf.
She's fashioning a bowl out of a leaf. She scoops of the coconut broth. That's real nice. Smoky, a little bit of sweetness from the coconut, but not overpowering. It's not a strong coconut flavor. And then a little bit of flavor from that smoked fish too. One of the reasons I'm very excited to be here today is because we have gone to the highlands, the lowlands, and now we're here, a different type of geography. And already being here, I can see the food is different, people look different, the hair is different. When I was walking around the market here, I noticed that some folks have kind of blondish hair. At first, you might think they dyed their hair or bleached their hair, but even you have some kind of semi-golden hair. Is that natural?
My natural hair is black. I just dyed it.
Oh, Jesus. Wow, you're really helping my point here.
Some, they have natural hairs.
The colorful natural curls you see here have no connection to the European continent. Instead, they represent a unique genetic variation that developed within Melanesian groups, like the Tolai people of Papua New Guinea.
People that are more to the seaside, they have this pigment of hair, which is orange or yellow. And the one that are more to the inland, they have like dark pigment hair.
Unless they dye it.
Exactly.
Aside from their striking blonde hair, the Tolai in New Britain are also known for a daring tradition, digging for wild bird eggs at the base of an active volcano. I'm headed there now to learn how it works and to see if these exotic bird eggs are indeed worth the risk.
Ermia, Pidil, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm happy to be here. This is very exciting because this is my first time sourcing food from the base of a volcano.
Right now we're standing at the base of Mount Tavurvur, an area defined by its bumpy terrain and the shallow pits created by numerous past egg hunts.
So let's talk about the eggs. You're after eggs from what type of bird?
Wildfowl, what they call it a megapole.
Megapodes are nicknamed mound builders because they bury their eggs underground, relying on natural heat for incubation.
They dig right down 6 feet and they lay the eggs and they fly back again.
Oh, this is so confusing because if the eggs hatch and the bird is 6 feet underground, how does a bird come out?
It can find its way to come out.
So it'll dig its way out?
Dig its way out.
Whoa, these birds are ferocious.
For over 30 years, Pidil has been hunting down these underground nests and collecting the orphaned eggs, a prized delicacy that he'll sell at nearby markets like Kokopo. But with great reward comes even greater risk.
Could this volcano erupt?
Yes.
Anytime?
Anytime.
If that volcano goes off, what happens to us?
We can go to the boat and we escape from the volcano.
Okay, I thought we would die. We won't die?
We won't die.
But the danger is not just that we're near a volcano. There are people who have died doing this job, right?
Yes.
When is the last time you heard of somebody dying doing this job?
Just last year.
Last year?
Yeah, young man. Yeah, he was alone on the side. So when his friend came, they saw the spade on top. They start to look around for him now. They start digging, they find his leg.
It's unreal.
I know many people, they already died. They don't clear the top, and when they dig, the soil breaks down and cover them.
Wow. So I think in a moment you can show us how it's done and show us your strategy for not having it cave in on you and how you are now able to do it a little bit more safely. And I got you. Should I tie a rope around your ankle? What do you think?
It's okay.
Pibil, you're in a hole.
Ready to dig now.
So first you go with the shovel until you get about 6 feet deep, right?
About 5, and then I'll use my hand to find the eggs.
It looks like what he's doing different now from what guys have done in the past is he's not tunneling in. He's not creating a narrow hole. If it caves, it just caves in around his feet, no danger. Now, it's probably a bit more work and a bit more effort, but a lot more safety.
Yes, the bigger the hole, safer is it. Oh, I just break one egg.
Oh no, show me, pick it up.
Oh.
Like lighting a $20 bill on fire.
Yes.
Oh no. We got the egg right here. It's bigger than a chicken egg. The yolk is on the inside. That's definitely not edible.
A broken egg isn't enough to discourage Pidil. It may even signal that he's hit the jackpot.
I think I'm gonna start using my hand now.
Although a megapode lays just one egg at a time, it returns to the same spot and can lay up to 20 eggs during its 7-month nesting season.
Do you know what direction to dig, or are you just guessing?
I know what direction.
How?
I'm following the holes.
You can feel where the old hole was?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Oh, is that a bird?
Yeah.
No way. This is so awesome. Can I hold it?
Yeah, you can hold it.
This is nuts. You didn't plant that there?
No, no.
It's brand new. He doesn't look injured, but he looks weak.
It doesn't fly yet. It will take 1 month or 3 weeks.
So do you sometimes see these guys just walking around?
Yeah.
Oh, that's insane.
Baby megapodes often spend over 2 months in their cozy shells. Once hatched, the loose soil allows them to breathe as they make their long journey to the surface.
We find them, we just let them go to lay more eggs for us to dig in.
Did you want to name him or?
No, we can't name him because they are just the same. They're all
John Doe?
black.
That's fine. Black Lives Matter.
Despite the scale of egg collection, megapodes are not endangered, but rules have been put in place to control overhunting.
You stopped. Did you find one?
Yeah.
You got one in there?
Yeah.
Deep in that hole?
Can you see it?
I'm afraid if I step too close, I'm going to cave it in.
Just grab it, huh?
Yeah. Okay, that is...
That's how big it is.
Would you say that's 1.7 chicken eggs?
Yes.
It's longer, it's oblong.
Some are still bigger than that.
On a successful day, Pidil can collect up to 10 megapode eggs, each earning him 2 kinas, or 50 cents at the market. That means his income can actually be higher than the regional average.
Oh, there it is. Another one, same big hole, different tunnel on the bottom.
Next, you're going to see that these megapode eggs are nothing like chicken eggs, and that includes the risky business of cooking them through.
Is it true that somebody came here once, fell into the hot spring and got injured?
Yeah, one Japanese guy fell into the hot water. This side here was...
Medium rare?
Yeah.
This natural boiling pot forms when subsurface water, heated by magma, rises to the Earth's surface through underground cracks. Pidil simply drops the eggs and some bananas into the steamy, bubbling water. 20 minutes later, and lunch is ready.
We're gonna work our way out to the eggs. I do want to try a banana cooked in a sulfury hot spring. All right, so I'm opening it up. That's good. It's starchy. It's nothing like a banana that folks might know in the USA. And people might go, oh, it's a plantain. No, it's different. It's not sweet at all. It's basically a potato in the shape of a banana. So that's our first food. Moving on from there, we've got this. So before you cook these, I notice you tap them, you break it, and then you put it into the water. Why is that?
If we don't crack it, it's going to take us a very long time.
Oh, even longer?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm gonna slowly try to take the shell off. I'm hoping I can get the whole, uh-oh. All the white is coming off as I peel it. Oh boy. Oh, people online are gonna be like, no, you're supposed to tap it and blow into it. I'm giving up on the white part. It's very thin, but that whole thing is the yolk. What the? It's like a paste. It's like a medium boiled egg. It's not all the way hard, but that is a big yolk. It's a very new experience. It is similar to a chicken egg yolk, but it's lighter, it's fluffier, it's slightly dry, but not chalky like a chicken yolk can be. This is amazing. Do you like it?
I like it.
That's a good yolk.
After trying those golden fluffy eggs, Peter poses something a bit more challenging.
Oh my God!
An exotic delicacy that few on this island have tried before.
I see a black feather already.
Partially developed megapode eggs. On top of that, Jeremiah has invited us to a family gathering at his home. There we'll cook up an entire pig the island way.
Guys, welcome to MUMU Round 2. Now, this word might be familiar to you because we already did a MUMU when we were in the highlands with the Huli tribe.
Papua New Guinea's national dish is the MUMU. Pork, sweet potato, and plantains all cooked with hot stones. In the highlands, they sear the pig's hair like this.
They build a fire, they put 2 big logs on top of it, and then they roll the pig back and forth using bamboo to scrape the hair away.
Here, they build a bonfire.
And that's what you're seeing behind me right now. They are completely incinerating this pig. It looks insane, and soon they're gonna scrape everything off.
Upon butchering, the Tolai people collect the pig's blood and intestines, mix them with a basket full of local vegetables, then wrap all that in banana leaves and set it to the side. While the Huli men simply split the pig into 2 huge chunks, our island hosts divvy it into smaller portions.
Right here we have some limbs, there's ribs, and everything is coming over here and getting wrapped up, ready to be put under hot stones. Ma'am, take it away. This part of the process includes wrapping everything in a banana leaf. And no, this isn't for Christmas, but it's the next best thing, because this is a whole freaking leg that's gonna be cooked using hot stones. She closes the entire thing using the spine from the leaf to wrap it and tie it shut, and soon that's gonna head with all the other meat into the MUMU. Oh my God, is there a hurricane coming? Ellen, if there's a hurricane, will you protect me? She said no.
Alongside the meat and the blood dish, our cooks wrap up some taro and sweet potatoes to provide some essential carbohydrates. Now it's all set for cooking.
Our MUMU is about ready to begin. Right here beneath me, we have dozens of blazing hot stones. It is hundreds of degrees right here. This leg will have to be amputated soon because right now it's medium well. We have the food going on right now. All these packages contain different parts of the pig, including one that is full of intestines and blood. We're gonna be trying that a little bit later. All of these are headed onto this layer of blazing hot stones. Can I put one? Is that good, Ellen? Okay, she said it's okay. Ellen will not validate me.
Once all the food bundles are in place, the women add more hot stones and cover the cooking pit with thick layers of banana leaves. In the highlands, they cover the MUMU with dirt, but here, some large metal sheets will do. In a couple hours, we'll find out if this pig cooked all the way through. For now, Pidil and I are about to share an extreme island meal that few have tried before.
Can you tell me what we have here?
Some eggs with baby wildfowl that are ready to hatch.
With no hot springs in sight, Pidil opts to wrap these semi-developed eggs in banana leaves, then toss them over an open fire.
Have you had this before?
No.
Nice. I cannot wait for you to open up an egg and look into a little bird's eyes and then eat it. Are you ready for that?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Oh, I cannot wait to see what's in here.
This one.
Oh, this went from roulette to slots because you just hit the jackpot right there. This is a semi-developed wildfowl bird. You can see part of the embryo inside of the egg. Oh, wow. So I think that's the head.
That's it.
How do you feel about that? I know it seems unfair that you have to go first, but later when we open our egg, it could be way more developed than that. This is not bad. Would you say that's about half developed?
Just the beginning.
Oh, easy. Please enjoy. Yeah, make sure you get the head. Did you get the head?
Half of the head.
Yeah, good. Bite it in half. Mmm.
Delicious.
You like it?
Yeah, it's good.
Pidil, go for it. Okay, let's see what's inside there. Oh, yes, that's even more developed. You can see it looks like a little shrimp. It's all curled up, but it looks very soft, actually. All right, Pidil, try it out. Oh, he slurped it up. What do you think? Is it good?
Good. It's better than yesterday.
You've had that before, right?
Yeah, very nice.
I'm gonna try now for myself. Oh, I see a black feather already. Oh my God! It has thick black feathers here. Oh boy. How many days do you think this is away from hatching?
1 week.
Oh my God. I don't want to unravel it. That's the head! Oh no! It takes a lot to make my stomach turn. I don't feel good right now. Is this a local food?
Only the people who dig the wildfowl leg, they eat this one.
So only people like you?
Yeah.
All right, I'm just gonna eat a chunk and see what happens. Why are you two so happy already? You're sick. What is that? Tastes like chicken. That's fun. Oh, it's warm, a little greasy. There's some feathers in there. I don't recommend eating that. There's bones, but they're a bit soft. But some bones are big. Oh, like here's the bird head. Oh, man, I did it. Are you proud of me?
Yes, we are proud of you.
Thank you. I just needed some validation. Pidil, if I give it to you, will you finish it?
I'll finish it.
Please, I feel full suddenly. He's saying the only people who really eat this are those who dig up the eggs, and this guy's an egg digging expert. Well, I can't say we're blood brothers, but I do think we're bird brothers now. Greasy handshake. Yeah.
While I trauma bond with my egg-eating companions, the women are unearthing our main course from the cooking pit.
All right, folks, the moment has finally come. I'm here with Ellen. I like working with Ellen because if I try to be funny, no matter what, she always looks like that. Here, we have a whole pig leg that's been roasting for a couple of hours under those hot stones. She is the one who wrapped it moments ago. Now she's unwrapping it, and we are seeing if it's cooked all the way through. I gotta say, that looks pretty good. Oh, wow, the meat is juicy. I can feel the skin very gelatinous. The bone is sticking through right here around the cankles. From there, the hip bone. The hip bone actually easily coming out as the meat breaks down around it. Oh my gosh. I was gonna have you use that knife, but we don't even need it, Ellen. Here you go. Look at that smile. That is a very good start, but we have a lot more to unpack and a lot more to see. Dominic, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, yes.
Joining me for this feast, Dominic, a tour guide with nearly 20 years of experience, along with Travis.
Travis, you've been our fixer for the long duration of this trip. For about the last 2 weeks, we've been working together, and now we're finally culminating our epic journey here. For you personally, what would be your favorite chunk of animal?
The ribs.
Should we start with that? I'm gonna rip this rib right in half. Oh, rib by rib. There's so much succulent, delicious, tender rib meat. That's good.
Yeah, it's really good.
It is amazingly tender. On the skin, you can still feel the hair a little bit, like when your wife doesn't shave for a couple weeks. But on the inside, the rib meat is tremendous. It's so succulent, and it's hard to believe that all this is just done with stone. Travis, you are Australian, but you grew up a lot of your life in Papua New Guinea.
Yes, my father came up to work for the Australian government, so I really had all my younger formative years in PNG.
For you, how old were you the first time you experienced the MUMU then? You must have been quite young.
As a small boy, I would wander
wander from house to house, even people I didn't know, and without fail, they would always feed me. If I was lucky enough to stumble across a MUMU, then yeah, without fail again, they just always give you a bit of food.
So when you experienced your first MUMU, do you have any distinct memories of that?
I think the big thing with me was the smokiness. That really distinct smoky flavour and the blend of the flavours. So whether you had the vegetables and can taste a little bit of the meat,
sure.
Have the meat and you can taste a little bit of vegetables.
Right, there's some gradient of flavour that spreads between everything. And then you basically just go body part by body part. You can rip off some pieces of the head if you want to. There's a leg here somewhere that I was gnawing on earlier. That being said, there's something unique here we haven't tried yet, which is this right here. It's like you put a brownie recipe into AI and it got it completely wrong. This is blood, but then there's plants in here too. So it's basically a salad?
Yes, salad.
Nice. Have you had this one?
No, this is new to me.
New to you. All right, give it a shot, boys. Cheers. Okay. I taste the plant matter more than anything. It tastes like a wet fall day in Minnesota. Like decaying leaves. It's a strange flavor, but then I'm getting a little bit of that crumbly blood in there too.
There's an aftertaste coming through with the blood.
Yeah, true. A little iron in the aftertaste. I got some intestine right here. Chewy, soft. It's like the calamari of the pig.
It's not bad. Dominic?
Hey, we only tell the truth on this show.
I'm used to it, so it's okay with me.
I have a little bit of a serious question as we wind down our trip here in Papua New Guinea. This has been a very challenging journey for us. Part of it is due to infrastructure in the country. The places that we're going to are far away. A lot of driving and flights, a lot of logistics in general. It's certainly not the most convenient country to travel within, but that doesn't mean it's not worth it. So my question to you is, in spite of some of the challenges people might face when coming here, why should they still come here?
Something I always say is this, there is no better time to travel to PNG than now. Tomorrow could be different. I always advise travelers that come to PNG to travel with an open mind. Itineraries always change. Whether you like it or not, it has to change. You know, if someone dies along the way,
well, they got dark really fast.
No, I mean, like if you are, following your itinerary and there's a death in the village, you have to be ready to cancel that part of the trip and go somewhere else. But why people should travel to PNG is because it's just unique in its own way. You get a lot of natural and authentic experiences than you would probably get in some other countries. We have over 800 plus different cultures, languages, and you can see the preparation of the food is totally unique.
Yeah, I think the beauty of Papua New Guinea is that it's raw and untouched. It hasn't been exploited with tourism. You're going to get the authentic, raw experience in PNG. It's a really genuine place at the local level. So I'd certainly advise people to get out, experience the local PNG, the real people, and the beauty of the place.